Check, check. Check, 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 check. All right, here we go. Daddy's going to introduce us, okay? You ready?
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Hey, everyone. GC 365, Pastor James here from the Lake Stevens campus. I'm the campus pastor there. I'm coming at you, bringing you guys today's word. And today, my special guest is Eli Cullen. He is my son, Elias, right? You're my son?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? Yeah, exactly. You just never know, right? He trusts me that much that when I say that I am his father, he's like, okay. So we have this trust thing going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Well, today we're talking in the Old Testament, we're talking about Balaam and his donkey, right? Yeah. Now, have you ever seen a donkey?
Maybe.
Maybe? No, it's a yes or no question.
Okay, no.
No, I think you have actually, but it's okay. You have, it's okay. It's okay. You've seen a donkey before. And what happens is Balaam is a prophet. God tells him to go and speak, and he's being obedient. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But there's one part. He's not listening to God at this part. I know. You're supposed to be listening, right? You're supposed to listen to God, right? Who else are you supposed to listen to?
Jesus.
And who else?
And the prophets that are like
Okay, what about in real life? Who are you supposed to listen to?
my parents.
Your parents. Do you always listen?
Not always.
Not
but
always.
Still.
How many percent do you listen to your parents?
Probably like 86.2.
86.2% he listens. He's very specific, apparently. So he goes and he's supposed to share this news with the king. And as he's going, his donkey just stops, right? And his donkey doesn't move. And so what does Balaam do? Do you remember?
He beats him 3 times.
He beats him 3 times. He just beats this poor donkey with a club. Now at this point, the donkey starts talking. What do you think the donkey sounded like?
Why are you attacking me? You attacked me 3 times, but why?
Yeah, he probably said that. Do you think he had like a different like Shrek voice, or what do you think he sounded like?
I don't think
You think he was like, man, Shrek, why you beat me? Like kind of like that, or what do you think? Can you try that?
Man, Shrek.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So here he is. He's beating his donkey. His donkey finally turns around and says, listen, why you beating me? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no good. And the donkey looks back and says, because there's an angel on the road. And at that moment, God opens Balaam's eyes. He looks down the road and he sees an angel holding a sword, and he was going to annihilate Balaam. So the donkey saved his life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he should have been more thankful, right?
Yes.
But he wasn't super thankful, was he?
Yeah. The donkey saved his life, and it's like he didn't like it.
You're right. It's like he didn't even like it. But eventually he sees it and he understands what God is doing, and he does what he's supposed to do, and he gives the news to the king, and he does exactly what God asks him to do, right?
Yeah.
Now, how hard is it to listen when you don't want to do something?
Really hard, because there are some hard times where I can't listen.
You can't? Why?
Because like sometimes they're like really loud and I can't hear because it's like too loud.
Oh, so just noise. What about when you don't want to do something? You know, like when mommy or daddy says, okay, go brush your teeth, it's bedtime.
And I'm like,
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, I wish that we could stay up longer.
You call me bro?
No, I don't call you bro. I'm just like, that's what I think. Okay, it's kind of hard to say it, but it's like I say bro in my mind. I don't call you bro.
No, I'm not your bro.
Yeah.
You have bros. You have 2 other bros, right?
Yes, I do.
And so it's like that, right? Where mommy and daddy say, oh, okay, it's bedtime, go brush your teeth. And you go, and you say bro in your head, apparently. Bruh. And then do you always immediately go and brush your teeth, or do you sometimes just keep sitting there because you don't want to?
I keep sitting here because I don't want to, because I want someone else to do it. Usually I'm in a match or doing something. And
Yes.
I don't want to.
You don't want to do it? You don't want to be first?
Yeah.
Sometimes he wants to be first.
Yes.
So here's Balaam, same situation, right? He doesn't want to do this. Like he does and he doesn't. And the donkey is making him, late, and he's getting angry, and he beats the donkey, and he yells at the donkey, Do you like being yelled at?
No.
No, not really, right? So if you were the donkey and I was Balaam and I was beating and yelling at you, would you be like, hey, thank you? No, you'd be angry,
I'll
right?
be like, why are you beating me up?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you so angry, right? And that's what happens. And eventually he does go and he tells the king what's going on, and he shares the news, and all of these things are because he listened to God finally. And it took a minute, but he did. And then we go to the New Testament, the apostle, or the prophet John. Remember prophet? You said you listen to prophets?
John.
John is Jesus' cousin. Do you have any cousins?
Yeah.
You have a ton of cousins, right?
Yeah, I got like 2 families of cousins.
You got 2 families of cousins, my family and mommy's family, right? So you've got a lot of cousins. And John is one of the cousins of Jesus. And what's fun is when he was in his mommy's tummy, she wanted to name him John. But in that custom, you're supposed to name your first son after the dad. So you know how Judah, who's your
Yeah.
oldest brother, right?
Yeah.
And if we were in that custom, his name should be James.
Yeah.
Would that be confusing if there were two Jameses in the family?
No.
No, why?
Well, it would, because if you would say James, then you meant like one, like you or Judah.
What if I named all you guys James?
That would be very frustrating.
It'd be frustrating.
Yes.
Oh.
Because if I called for like Jason and I said James, and Judah would come over.
Yeah.
And like everyone else.
Or I
come
would,
over.
right? Or Brayley.
Yeah.
It'd be weird, right? So you have all
know.
of these problems. So here's John. His name is supposed to be John because God told Mary and also his dad that he was supposed to be named John. And what was crazy was his dad could not talk for 1 year. Can you
What?
imagine? Yeah. Can you imagine? 1 year couldn't talk. 1 whole year of your life. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I could just write it down. It would be.
Yeah, you would
like,
implode. You would
so
literally explode.
forever.
No, yeah, you would explode if you wouldn't be able to talk. All that pent up energy, your head would explode, right? And so he couldn't talk. And finally, they were arguing with Elizabeth. And they're saying, "You can't name him John. He's not. That's not right. Well, let's ask your husband, the father, what the name should be." So then Zachariah or his dad comes over and says, "Give me some paper, like you just said," and he writes down the name John. And at that moment, he could speak, like his voice came back.
What?
And John grew up to live in the woods, and he ate bugs. And yeah, exactly. Have you eaten a bug before?
No.
Yes, you have.
Really?
You've eaten ants. Probably not on purpose, but you've eaten ants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know you swallowed a spider at one point in your life? Yeah, I know, crazy. But this guy did it on purpose because he was like an outdoorsy camping kind of guy, and so he would go camping and he would eat bugs and he would talk about about God and he would just prophesy, and so it was just like this really cool thing. But what was fun was that John's dad listened to God, even though custom was he should name him after himself. God told him his name is to be John, and he listened and he did it. Maybe he didn't want to at first, but then he understood that God knows what he's doing. Now, let me ask you, what's the hardest thing to do, or what's the hardest part about listening?
Is that like when you don't want to do something, you have to do it? Because
Yeah.
if you don't do it, you get in trouble, and nobody likes to be in trouble.
Nobody likes to be in trouble.
Yes.
That is going to be the wisdom that we're going to drop on you right now, GC 365. No one likes to be in trouble. So listen up. When God speaks, listen up, right? You don't want to be in the Balaam situation. You don't want to beat your personal donkey. You don't want to be deaf or mute for a whole year. Okay, that's not mute. That you can't hear there. And so you don't want these things to happen. You want to follow God with everything that you have. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening. That's why you read your Bible every single day. My encouragement to you, Eli's encouragement to you, is listen to God, pay attention, spend time with him, and figure out what it is that God is trying to say to you today. We want to thank you, right? Thank you for being here. Can you say thank you for being here?
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you guys next time.